After the last video that I made showing a home for $2.5 million selling here in Dubai, I got a lot of questions from clients, from you viewers, on how to move to Dubai. What is the exact process? What ways there are to get a residence permit, an ID, which I have, and what are the best strategies that I recommend for you to move to Dubai, pay zero taxes, enjoy the luxury lifestyle of this city. Let's discuss in this video. As you know, if you watch this channel, I live in Dubai part of my year. I have my company here, I have my bank accounts, my finances, everything. I have an Emirates ID right here, which I can obviously help you get. And that's the goal to get, because you need this thing to even open a bank account, to do many different things, get a mortgage for a home, things like that. There are two main ways of doing it that a wealthy person can consider. There's many different ways. You could get a little freelance visa, digital nomad visa, other visas that the UAE has. Those typically are very slow to process, and they're more for people that just want to come here and sort of explore and see if they stay a few months. They don't care about taxes that much. What I recommend for wealthy people that are coming from high tax countries, you're coming from the US, Australia, UK, Canada, you're coming from any country in Europe, and you're getting taxed at high rates. You want to move to a place that has zero tax. You want to move the right way. You don't want to get a little cheapy visa. You want to get a real residence permit. You want to have a 3-year residence permit with an ID, with a company potentially, with a bank account. So the main way that I typically recommend is by starting a company in the UAE. You can own this company 100%. We get the license done in about 7 to 15 days. Depends on your nationality, depends on the activity of the company. You can pick many different activities. For example, if you are doing cryptocurrency and all you do is crypto, you might want to get an investment license and then use that license to do crypto. If you're building out a crypto project or doing crypto mining, you might want to get a cryptocurrency license in order to do crypto. If you're doing marketing, you get a digital marketing consultancy. You get my point, depending on what activity your company is doing. Once you have that license, then you can either do that remotely from your country. Let's say you're in Australia or the UK or wherever you are right now. You can do the whole process of the company or corporation remotely. We get you what's called an e-visa, which is essentially a permit to enter the UAE. A lot of passports from developed countries, you don't need a visa to get into the UAE. You have visa-free travel to come to the UAE, but at least it's good to have this e-visa, because then we can turn that e-visa into a 3-year residence permit. So once you arrive here with that e-visa, you get it stamped by immigration, then we turn it into a 3-year residence permit and we get you this ID. Right now, the processing is a little bit slow because of the situation happening around the world, so we'll allow for about a month or 21 days to get the process done, specifically if you want to do VIP processing. Then once that's done, you can open a bank account, you can do anything you like in Dubai, and you can pretty much live here. You can buy a property if you want, you have your company, you have your bank accounts, you have everything here that you need in order to move to Dubai, because everybody here needs a visa, and the best way to get a visa is by having a visa under your own company. You're essentially employed by your own corporation. Now there's other ways to do it. The second one that I typically recommend is the real estate one. This depends on your experience with real estate, your experience with Dubai. If you've never been to Dubai ever in your life, and you don't even know how it works here, you don't know what regions to buy property in. A lot of people, they ask me, should I buy a house for $2.5 million, like the one that we showed on the video? Should I buy a house for $1 million and just get residence permit? Because you can. If you buy anything, right now there's a discounted price of 750,000 dirham, which is around 200,000 US dollars, but in reality it's $1 million dirham, which is around 280,000 US dollars. If you buy anything above that, you get a 3-year residence permit. It used to be a 2-year residence permit, now it's 3. Maybe they change it back, but you essentially get a residence permit and this ID that I just showed by buying property. But most people that are new to Dubai, you're probably gonna make a bad decision buying property. I've had some clients that come here and they say, I love this place, I love this particular country, I'm gonna buy 3 homes. And some of them, they're worth $100 million, $50 million. They buy 3 homes for $500,000 each, and then they regret it a couple of weeks later. That's what I've seen. The ones that come here and they think, let me get a visa through property investment, but they've never been to Dubai before, those typically have second thoughts about it. After a couple of weeks, they say, you know what, I should have bought in that other region of Dubai, or I should have bought in that place. So if you have experience with the real estate, if you have experience with Dubai, if you visited many times before, you know what regions, maybe you've already been here 1 month or 2 months on like a visa-free traveling, just checking it out, then I would recommend buy property, buy an apartment, buy a home, get that residence permit through the apartment if you have that experience, or maybe just get the company, get the residence ID with the company. You have 3 years to decide when to buy a property. That's usually what I tend to recommend more, is set up the company, get the ID, get the residence permit through the company, have 3 years to stay in Dubai and do whatever you like, and then buy the property. When you're relaxed, when you don't need an ID for the property, maybe you want to buy something below the threshold of the visa in order to rent it out, or maybe you want to buy multiple properties above the threshold and you don't want to calculate or you don't want to apply with one of those properties. It just makes the process easier to do it with the company. It just depends on your experience and your personal preference, because I know a lot of people, they come here, they love the city, they want to buy property, and you can buy a lot of properties in cryptocurrency actually. There's a company called Coinsfera. Talked about them many times before. I've actually visited their office. We tried to make a video, but they wouldn't let us in because I don't have enough subscribers. If you want me to cash out crypto and actually show the process, make sure to subscribe so I can show it. And they actually offer a service where they buy property in crypto for you and you can get that property. And obviously for the company incorporation route, you can also pay in crypto. We handle the whole process for you. Another thing to note is that if you want a longer residence permit, the UAE does not offer permanent residence or citizenship. If you start a company, if you fund the company, if you buy real estate, you're never going to get permanent residence. Permanent residence is only granted to people who make substantial investments, more than $100 million, or they get a Nobel Prize, or they find a cure for a disease or something and they're living in Dubai. So basically really high achievers or really high level investors, they do get permanent residence. They could potentially even get citizenship, like one Islamic scholar that got citizenship, but that is very rare. When it comes to getting a longer term visa, let's say you open a company, you want to deposit 10 million UAE dirham, which is around $2.8 million, if my math serves me right. And then when you deposit that money in there, you apply for a 10-year golden visa. 10 million AED, 10 million dirham, 10 million years, 10 years, not 10 million years. You get 10 million dirham, 10 years. So you get a 10-year golden visa. I've had clients do that. They open the company, they own it 100%, they get a visa, they do everything. Then they deposit the 10 million dirham, $2.8 million, and then they get the 10-year golden visa, and that's quite a smooth process because you are the most VIP person that could potentially be here. Once you end that golden visa, you can extend it for another 10 years as long as you continue to run the company, or you could potentially apply for permanent residence, but it's very unlikely that you get it. When it comes to real estate, if you want to get a 5-year visa, which is also technically a golden visa, it's just 5 years, not 10, you can pay 5 million dirham, 5 million, you get 5 years in real estate. So if you buy a property for 1.5 million US dollars, you get a 5-year golden visa through property investment. And those are the two routes that I typically recommend my wealthy clients. You start a company, you get the whole process done that way. It's very smooth, really fast, and you get your ID. Then you can buy property, or you buy property and you get your visa through there. The property market here is quite overvalued right now because of Expo and because it's winter. So every winter time, be very careful buying homes here. I'd rather you set up the company, spend 10% of what you would spend on the real estate, get everything you need, and then later on, once you analyze the market, once you learn what areas you like, once you learn what places are your favorites, then you buy property. That's typically what I recommend my wealthiest clients. If you need help moving to Dubai, setting up a zero tax base here, overall enjoying the freedom of this city and of this country, and you want me to handle the process for you and help you throughout absolutely everything, click that first link in the description. I live in Dubai. I've been here for almost 2 years and I've helped hundreds of clients move here and set up here. Make sure to click that first link, book a one-on-one call with me. The call is directly with me. We figure out your particular situation, what you need to set up a zero tax base here and actually set up your ID and everything here, and I handle the whole process for you. Book that call now and check out this video right here, which is about the best areas and best places to live in Dubai. I've lived in many different regions of Dubai, in the beach, in the marina, in the downtown, and I tell you exactly what to expect in each different region and which one fits the best for you. Check it out right now in the square. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, that like button down below. I will see you on the next video.